This podcast is brought to you by Blue Guardian, the prop firm that lets you trade with EAs or any style you like at any time.
I withdrew 2,000 in January, April 3,000, July 6,000, and now in September I just was approved for 8,000. Also enough in my account on Friday I'll be able to withdraw 16,000 from these 8 50K accounts. In that community are people who are generating 5 figures per day regularly. Like this guy's making kings. He's like a kingmaker. He's making millionaires. I know that I can find $100, $200, $300 per day. And when I multiply that over all of those accounts, it's more money than I've ever seen in my life. If I add it all up, like I've been funded for close to $3 million altogether. Believe, because like if you share this, what you're trying to do, like no one is going to believe it's possible. You know, people are going to comment on this video about how some of the stuff I'm saying is bullshit. My mentor like never has a losing day, and people are going to say that's bullshit. But you have to believe for yourself.
Our sponsor Blue Guardian is the only prop firm that gives their traders a tool to protect them from hitting their max daily loss and over trading. It's super simple to use. Just set the Guardian Protector each day from your dashboard. Did you also know that they've just released an unlimited time evaluation with a 0 trading days requirement, giving you plenty of time to hit their low 8 and 4% targets, making it super fast to get funded. Plus, it's cheaper than the 40-day time limit evaluation. Check out the link and coupon in the description to get 10% off your next Blue Guardian evaluation. All right, folks, here we are on Trading Nut. We've got Fasil in the house. Now, he is a Hawaiian futures trader who is, we've got a bit of a special kind of episode here, something I haven't done before on Trading Nut. So he is, you know, as he's Hawaiian, and we know there's been a massive disaster in Hawaii with these wildfires just recently, and the death toll has hit up, you know, towards possibly 2,000 people, which is horrific. And you've been sort of front and center at this, Fasil, and we've got something a little bit special here on the show that we're going to do. And I want you to explain to the guys how it is all going to work now before we get into the interview.
Okay, thanks, Cam. Thanks for having me and giving me this platform in which to leverage this charitable action. So basically, you know, so many people have been affected and displaced and lost their homes in Lahaina. I'm right across the channel on the Big Island, the north part, and I can actually see Maui from where I live. What I want to do today is give a raffle to hopefully get people to donate. And what I'm going to be doing is giving away this gyutaku of this uku or gray snapper, which I think people do spearfish. I spearfished this summer, and I commissioned this artist in Hilo, Makai Impressions, to do this for me. And I love it. You know, and that's how I know it's the right thing to give away. So there is an Instagram page called Lahaina Ohana Venmo, and it links directly to families that have been affected and displaced by the wildfires. And the idea is that for every $20 donated to one of the families, we'll get one entry to win this. Also, I've donated some money personally. The CEO of the prop firm that I work with has matched my donation, as well as my mentor has given a substantially larger amount, which he wishes to remain anonymous in that. But so the idea is to leverage charitable action rather than just me donating some money. Like hopefully people who in the trading community, CAM subscribers, my community as well, can come together and we can do a lot of good for people over there. And I believe, you know, that this world is a mirror. So the things we do to others will return to us tenfold. And with trading, especially, you know, we're sitting around a computer clicking buttons, and whenever you have a big win, I think it's great to give some away, just to lend some meaning to what it is we're doing. And this is a great cause. So I'd appreciate anyone who wants to give. If you do want to make a donation, take a screenshot, send it to me on Instagram, TCO Biz, or you can tag me. Cam will put my link in the description. And for international followers, you can donate. If you don't have access to Venmo, there's a general fund as well, which will be linked in the video description that you can donate to, and then go ahead and send that to me as well. So thank you again for listening and for your time.
Yeah, look, folks, what we'll do is, yeah, as he mentioned, we'll chuck all these links in the show notes. Now, we've sort of double checked that this is not a scam. It's, you know, on the Hawaiian national newspapers, so everything is legit here. And what I'm going to do is donate as well. So there'll be, but I'm not going to take any of the $20 entries to the prize. So that's up for grabs for the subscribers and listeners out there. So, folks, we're going to get into the show here now. You're a 400K funded trader which is pretty impressive because you've done it in such a short period of time. We're going to find out how you got there and how you're maintaining it and where you're planning to go in the show. To start off with, how did you get started in trading and what's your background?
So my background is I am a high school science teacher here on the Big Island of Hawaii. It's my 8th year teaching. I have a degree in chemical engineering from Arizona State University and a master's in education. Also, I ran professionally, long distance running for New Balance and Power Bar after college, and I got to travel all over the world. And I really feel like trading has given me a second chance at doing something great, because with running, it was very similar to trading, as whereas you're on your own, you have to be self-disciplined. It's you against you, like trying to be better every day. And it's a 24-hour commitment. Whereas I think trading is very similar. So with running, it's diet, nutrition, sleep, all that stuff. And I actually trained with Mo Farah, the multiple-time Olympic and world champion. And we were kind of similar. We ran a race at Stanford University in 2008 where he ran 27:44 for 10K. I ran 27:50. He went on to run close to 27 minutes and win the Olympics. And I could never keep it together for more than 3 months, where I'd go have some pizza, have some beer, not get my sleep, kind of slack off on core, ab work, massage, all that stuff. So with trading, it's the discipline is so important, because all of us are one bad trade away, one day away from losing everything. There's so many horror stories, professional traders who've lost millions in one day. I myself, I've had terrible losing days, multiple days over $20,000 losses. So I look at it as tuition. This is my 21st month trading now. I just became profitable in January, so it took me a little bit over a year to become consistently profitable. But even from January until now, I've had blown accounts and moments of weakness as far as my discipline is concerned.
But you're currently still regularly withdrawing from prop firms and making a side income on from your trading.
Yeah, so things have been scaling quite nicely. Just my withdrawal history. The cool thing about Apex Trader Funding is they actually publish all of their payouts, so you can actually search on their website for the past 3 months, and you'll see several withdrawals with my name on it. But I withdrew 2,000 in January, which is actually a lot less than it should have been. I can show you my P&L calendar here momentarily, but April 3,000, July 6,000, and now in September I just was approved for 8,000, and I have also enough in my account on Friday. I'll be able to withdraw 16,000 from these 8 50K accounts.
That's phenomenal. And so what we're going to do is dive in to find out how you actually got started in trading. I mean, what on earth possessed you to go, I want to start day trading or trading in general?
So I grew up in Indiana. My family is of Ethiopian heritage. They're refugees, and they were sponsored by a church there in Indianapolis, and my parents still live there today. But I had a friend there growing up who he sells commercial real estate in Las Vegas, but he was always messaging me talking about trading for maybe 5-6 years. And he's like, oh, you should do this. You should do this. You should look into it. And I never took him up on it until about 2 years ago. And I messaged him and I was like, oh, tell me about it. And I was like, how much do you make? What do you do? How does it work? And what he did was all earnings reports, swing trading with options. So what he would do is like get these we get the strike price far away, maybe 3 months, 4 months, and just base it on the earnings report. And just I think he made a lot of money during the bull run of 2020, 2021, where he would just buy calls and just wait for the earnings to come out and then sell them. So he told me about that. He said, order this book. And then he said, I'm making $300 a week extra on the side, which was definitely just like side income for him, because he was very successful in commercial real estate, which he still is to this day. And then so I got the book that he recommended. I started looking into it. And then I was on YouTube and I'm like, oh, I think that intraday trading kind of fits my personality a little bit better. So then the first thing I did, it was all based fundamental analysis. This was right around the time of the conflict in the Ukraine. And I was just buying calls with defense contractors, and it was working out pretty well, like Boeing, Northrop Grumman. And that was working. And then I ended up signing up for this class for options trading. And it was all based on technical analysis, where you wait for the first hour, you get the range, and then you buy at support, sell it at resistance. And I was able to, the idea of that class was get up to the point where you can trade 100 options contracts and you look for 10 cent, 20 cent moves. So $1,000, $2,000, and you do one trade per day. And that was working out pretty well, but I got a little bit greedy and I blew up my account on a trend day, trying to call the top. And just like looking for a reversal without confirmation and adding the losers. And I had made all this money and then I lost it all over the course of 2 weeks. So then it was pretty depressing. But that pain, I think, it's part of the tuition of learning this thing. Then I discovered prop firm trading and I was able to learn trading large capital without as much personal risk because you're just paying for the evaluations at that point. My first evaluation ended with me punching a hole in the drywall with a take profit trader. And then I think December of 2022, 2022, Apex Trader Funding came out with this. They changed their rules because it used to be 30 days to withdraw, and now it's 10 trading days to withdraw. The qualification period went from 20 days to 7 days. And then they also, on top of that, had a 90% off all evaluation sales. So you could take a 50K evaluation for $16. So I did that. I got funded for 6 50K accounts when I started trading on in January, beginning of January this year. The first 8 trading days, I was like over leveraging max contracts. I was going 10 ES on every position. And actually, I made $46,000 in the first 8 trading days of January. And then same thing, trend day, calling the top. I had one day minus 28,000. So for those 6 accounts, I actually lost 5 of them in one day. And the only reason I didn't lose all 6 is because my trade copier, for some reason, wasn't set to copy to all of them. So one of them survived, and I was able to make that one $2,000 withdrawal on the one account. And then from there, it's just a learning process to now, like if I want to trade 10 accounts now or 10 contracts, it's not going to be on one account. It's because I have 10 accounts and I'm doing one contract per account. So the way that I'm able to increase my my profits is to add accounts, not to add risk or not to add contracts per position necessarily.
And I mean, what I find quite amazing is you managed to do it in such a short period of time. So really, it's not even 2 full years, and you're consistently taking over 5 figures out of the markets. Now, do you want to explain, I suppose, or give us an idea as to how you got to the point where whatever you are doing on the charts and your technical / fundamental analysis is driving, this trading behavior that's generating regular withdrawals? Can you give us some insight into like maybe the education you took and that sort of thing?
Yeah, so I was fortunate enough to locate my mentor on YouTube, Spy Day Trading. He publishes his videos. They're private to the Discord members immediately after market close, and the next day they're made public after market close. So it's a delayed one day, but his whole catalog is available for free online. And I ended up like watching somehow the YouTube algorithm like ended up like giving me those videos, and I was watching them and then comparing them. I had the chart open. I was like, oh man, this is like so accurate. He's like, this is what I think will happen the next day, over the next few days. And it was all based on algo identification, which I didn't really understand when I first started watching his videos. But it's basically just identifying buying and selling channels and then waiting for them to break and identifying which ones are controlled, which ones are being controlled by the buyers, which selling channels are being controlled that are actually just take profit events that are going to result in price delivering higher, like actually just hunting for liquidity. So to really understand this idea of what moves price. So I ended up subscribing to that Discord, which is so cheap really for what you get. I think initially the price was $38 per month, which I'm grandfathered into. I'm not sure what it is now. I think it has been raised a little bit. But the good thing about him as well is that he takes the time. He'll message people individually, even though there's over 400 members in there. And then there's a place to share your trades. And in that community are people who are generating 5 figures per day regularly. Like this guy's making kings. He's like a kingmaker. He's making millionaires. And he says that many people I'm sure will say that if he's making so much money, why would he be doing this? And I think at some point money can only do so much for you, and really giving is what can lend meaning to what we're doing here. And it's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this whole thing with Maui and the victims over there. Because, Bob Marley said, live for yourself and you will die in vain, live for others and you will live again. And I really believe that we're all experiencing a mirror here, and it's important to have positivity, to be optimistic, to see everyone at their highest potential. If that's what you want for yourself, what we focus on, we experience.
All right, folks, I'm here at Black Bull Markets headquarters in Auckland, New Zealand. You can see this amazing view behind me of Auckland Harbour. Now, talking about views, if you do want to get free TradingView Pro, then all you need to do is trade one lot a month at Black Bull Markets, and they're going to give you a free TradingView Pro. So, folks, to find out more, click the link in the description below or the card above.
And so just on that, so I mean, how sort of, I suppose, vested are you in terms of the knowledge that SPY day trading is giving you, i.e., I know that he's calling like what this is most likely what's going to happen the next day. Are you now able to sort of do that stuff yourself, and do you have to sort of rely on what he's providing, or how does it work for you?
Yeah, so it's not a signal group. So his whole thing is to teach you how to trade successfully and to make money on your own. So yeah, it's definitely educational, and I feel like I am learning. And some days he's actually not available to do his live analysis on the charts. And people in the group still make money. I make money because we're learning how to draw the channels ourselves. Now, there's one anecdote that I have. There's a guy in the group who's a construction worker. In January, he started an options account with $250, and currently his portfolio is over $500,000. Now, I know as I say that, I can hear people typing in the comments about how it's bullshit and it's unbelievable. And I feel like it's good. I want people to not believe, because basically what we're all doing, it's escaping slave wagery. And it's kind of a miracle to be able to trade, to sit in front of your computer and make as much money as we do, potentially make more than people's yearly income in a month or even a week, some people. So the more people that actually don't believe that this is possible, the more possible it is for those of us who do believe. So yeah, we are learning his techniques. I'm learning them. When he's not available, I can draw the algos myself. And if I compare them to what he comes up with later, it's very similar. So I go back and watch his old videos. There's years and years of videos. And also in the Discord, you have access to the live analysis going, it's all historically backlogged as well.
And what's interesting here is, like, I mean, because most people will dive into a group like that and then or find a YouTube channel and go, oh, look, this is the next best thing, and then for whatever reason find somebody else like 3 weeks later and go, oh, that one looks even better, or I might jump into this. How come you stuck around, and what made you different to not sort of veer off and start looking into other things or other ways to read price?
Okay, so when I joined that channel, I think I was looking at my join date. You had Discord to publish it by your username. I think it was April of 2022. So I for the first several months, like I wasn't making money. But being in that group and seeing the people share their trades and seeing how many people were successful using the system, that's what gave me hope. And people were posting about what they did outside of the charts, and that is what really spoke to me. And I think a lot of people overlook it. I think the psychology and the risk management are more important than any strategy. And there's a video that Paladin posted on YouTube where he talks about, if you just flip a coin and you have good risk management, you can be profitable. Like if your win rate is 50-50, but you're taking 2-to-1 risk to rewards, you'll be profitable. So actually a coin flip is more profitable than almost every retail trader. So for me, then I really started focusing on what am I doing outside of the charts? Because if I want to be disciplined for this, sometimes it's just 30 minutes to an hour that I'm sitting in front of the charts. I need to be disciplined outside of the charts. What that means for me is exercising every day, 10,000 steps, intermittent fasting, washing my dishes when I get done eating, folding my laundry, keeping my house clean, being kind, like all the time. If I'm doing that, like I'm establishing momentum. And it really, like the chart is psychology to me. It's human psychology when you're looking at the chart. And you can identify people and what they're thinking and what they're feeling and where people are trapped and where there's a squeeze happening. you can see it. A head and shoulders pattern is squeezed, is a squeeze, and it's retail traders that have been induced to go long, and they're stuck up there, and then their stops are getting run, and then institutions are selling. And the inverse is the opposite. People who have been induced in going short, oh, big red candles, let me go short. And then immediate engulfing reversal. And now price is running away. All the stops are being run. It's running the other way. So I look for manipulation and inducement in the charts. But because the charts are a reflection of psychology, that just magnifies the importance of our own psychology. And for me, like my entries are wait for the market to start trending, get the first retracement, take profit at the equal high, maybe look for a second profit target at an extension, a little bit like a negative 0.27 on a fib retracement. And then if I can catch one of those and then I trade copy it over my 8 accounts, that's like my whole salary, my paycheck, my 2-week paycheck as a teacher. And I have 8 accounts currently. I'm currently taking evaluations with Apex for 12 additional ones to max out with them. I'm also doing 3 150K evaluations with Lilu, 3 150K evaluations with Take Profit. And I'm going to link them all together with Replicanto and using a local network with multiple computers. And I'm just going to copy everything and scale. And like, I know that I can find $100, $200, $300 per day. And when I multiply that over all of those accounts, it's more money than I've ever seen in my life. And I think it's really about like, can you develop consistency at a small P&L percentage, right? And then once you win more than you lose, scale. Don't look for home runs. Don't look for $3,000, $4,000 days per account, because you don't need that. You can make so much money just by copy trading with prop firms as well. Like the opportunity is amazing, right? That you can get so much access to so much capital.
And so like part of what you're talking about mindsets kind of stuff there and being disciplined. I know you don't drink coffee when you're trading, when you're getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, right? So, and you've got this other drink. I mean, what is this other drink and how do you actually make it?
Oh yeah. So it's like a metabolism kind of thing where it's, I just heat up some water. I have this electric kettle and I put, apple cider vinegar, lemon, ginger, garlic, cayenne pepper, cloves, what else I put in there? Cinnamon and honey and olive oil. And then I just have this whisker, like a coffee frother that I use, and whisk it up. And it's like an energy boost. It's like kind of, and it also boosts your metabolism, because I do intermittent fasting. So I don't actually eat food until afternoon, but some days it's 3 p.m., 4 p.m. Because like I subscribe to this idea that as humans, we have not evolved to the level of where technology is at this point. So if you go back to before agriculture, as when we were hunter-gatherers, you couldn't wake up and eat. You'd have to go out and kill something or do some type of physical activity. So the idea of breakfast is really kind of like a new concept. And it's actually, if you look into it, it was like marketing to get people to buy like bacon and sausage and cured meats, like this idea of a healthy breakfast and milk and bread and all this stuff, like all this stuff that's published by the government about nutrition with the food pyramid, and like bread is on the bottom, is really crazy. Really, the majority of your food should be leafy vegetables, and breakfast is really unnecessary. And I think for me to do intermittent fasting is just another part of discipline and withholding. And all like, I don't know if you have considered this, but like trading, I feel like is a dopamine regulation game. When you have a big win, like your dopamine baseline pushes up. And now if you have an equal win the next day, it doesn't feel as good. So for me, I'm constantly trying to do uncomfortable things on purpose to bring my dopamine baseline down. So like I take cold showers. I'll try to exercise early in the morning. I don't eat for a long time, just things that make me uncomfortable. I spearfish. I'm dealing with bloody fish, with sharks. And that's so uncomfortable that when I get out of the water and I'm standing on shore, like I'm happy just to be standing on solid land. So
it sounds like you're doing a lot of the same stuff I do, funnily enough, with the intermittent fasting and the cold showers, etc. Now, and it does put you in that uncomfortable state. I've actually just read a book recently. I'm currently reading it, where they talked about, and I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on this. Having a when you have like something good happen or successful, or you win a trade or you win something or whatever, you do well at something, then really give yourself the I suppose the boost that, yes, this is what I want to do. This is what I should be doing. This is the right thing. This is me. This is how I tend to operate. I operate in this winning mindset point of view. And with your running background, it's probably interesting as well. Whereas when you have like a losing trade, really sort of suppress the emotions of the loss so that you almost sort of like you don't get overly emotional when you lose, but you celebrate the wins. That's the sort of theory behind it. I'm just wondering if you've had any experience with that and whether or not you use kind of that methodology at all yourself.
Well, for me, like I know when I first started trading, it was very results based, like my emotional response, like make a lot of money, no matter how I did it, I'm happy. Lose money, I'm sad. And now there's a book, Trade Like a Casino. I forget the name of the author, but it's like it really helped me to shift my mindset to more of a process based kind of like, if my process is good, then I can be satisfied. So like if you think about a casino, most people will go there and they don't even know where the cashier's cage is because they just play until they lose everything. And the casino, they have table limits, and the table limit is like their stop loss. They're not going to let somebody sit down and bet $500 million on one hand of blackjack, because if that person wins, then they own the casino now. So they have table limits, they have their stop losses, so they spread their risk over thousands of games, thousands of tables, thousands of machines, because they know that as long as they manage risk, the longer that people play, the more money they'll make. So they give you free drinks, free shows, free flights. That happened to my older brother. You know, they give you all the free stuff because he made a lot one day, and then they kept bringing him out there like, oh, come back. We'll give you this, we'll give you that. And because they know if you keep playing, they're going to win. And so the same thing as a trader, if you view yourself as a casino, if you have an edge and you know that over a series of trades, you're profitable, then if you keep your size small enough, then just keep trading. It doesn't matter on any one specific trade if you win or lose, because as you keep trading, your edge will become evident. So that's what I try to, my satisfaction really comes from, have I followed my rules? Am I doing my process? Am I keeping my size manageable? Which is something I struggled with in the beginning, because it's so easy to be tempted to over leverage when you see big moves, and when CPI comes out and the SPY chart moves $4, you're like, well, if I would have done this and would have done that, I could have made $100,000 today. But really, you don't have to do that. If you can scale, like I want to be at $2 million funded by the end of the year. And if I do that and I make 5% in a month, it's $100,000 a month. And that 5% in a month is not really out of the question, I don't think. So I don't need to aim for $100,000 days, because $100,000 months are very accessible as long as I stick to what I know works with scale.
And do you, at that point, do you think your school's going to be looking for another teacher?
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately, for me, like I know that money doesn't buy happiness, and I think a lot of people say time is money, and I don't think that's true. I think time is way more valuable than money, and for like every day that we spend at a 9 to 5 or at work or doing anything, you know, we never get it back, and we never know when our lives might end. So I think, I don't know if you've ever seen this movie. There's this old movie with Justin Timberlake called Just in Time, where the rich people are like buying time from the poor people.
That's right.
And so I think with trading or financial resources, you can buy your time back, because how much time do people spend at a 9 to 5 commuting to and from, or even doing other things like cooking, going grocery shopping, yard work? If you have the financial resources, you actually can buy all of that time back. And then you can even get to the point where you're running the wheel strategy and you don't even have to day trade anymore. If you have enough capital, like you just need a large enough capital, and it's like very low risk strategies that you can do in the markets, where you're basically, you become the insurance salesman selling options on shares that you own. And so no matter what happens, either you're buying the shares at a price you want or selling them at a price that you want. And that's one thing my mentor does. And he was talking to me because I was like, what percentage are you risking per trade? And he's like, well, you know, like day trading is not the end goal. if you have enough capital and your portfolio gets large enough, you start owning shares and selling options, and you're going to make most of your money from that. And really, that's what I envision. Like, I don't really want to be sitting in front of a computer, especially in Hawaii, waking up at 3 a.m. every day. Like, this is for me an avenue to get to more freedom, more time freedom, to have experiences with my loved ones, with my family, with my children, which is kind of like one thing I want to like kind of segue into is like this idea of day trading successfully and becoming consistently profitable. As you know, it's like very rare. And for me, it was like this dream that I had, and it's like an unbelievable dream for most people. And like it caused a lot of stress in my life, and I've given up a lot. I'm recently separated, and my ex-wife, I have 2 children that I'm raising now, and so now I have shared custody. And it was devastated at first not to be with my children every night, but because my wife and children are not here with me, like I just have them on the weekends. Like I'm in Hawaii, so I go to bed at 8 and wake up at 3, which is an opportunity that if we were all together, maybe wouldn't have been possible. And in the beginning, if I would have known like what the cost would have been, maybe I wouldn't have gone forward with it. But that thing that happened, which was hard at the time, provided this opportunity, like one door closing, another one opening. Another thing, like with my family, my parents, my brothers, in the beginning, I'm telling them I'm doing this thing and I'm losing money, and they're all very skeptical, and they're like, maybe you should stop. And actually, they were, I think, at one point planning an intervention for me because they felt like this was like this unhealthy addiction, which maybe this is something that a lot of day traders can relate to. Maybe they're going through this right now, not having support in their personal lives. And so I've kind of had to isolate myself, and I feel bad about that. Because like I'm trying to protect this dream that I have. And in the beginning, before you become profitable, it's very fragile. So it's hard to have people in your life that maybe don't believe in what you're trying to do. So like I haven't been dating, like I've kind of isolated myself from socializing. I used to be very social because I'm trying to like make this thing happen. So like I don't know, like in the end, yeah, I feel like it's been worth it, and that maybe I can help to repair those relationships moving forward. But that's like, there is a dark side, and I think if you want to like be successful at this, you have to sacrifice. You have to, maybe not necessarily the way I did it. I'm not saying that's the right way, but
I was talking to another trader who did exactly the same thing. He's literally said, "Oh, I don't go out that much anymore, and I've sort of just everything I do is based around this now." And look, it is very rare for somebody to have like a partner or a spouse supporting them through their trading journey. Just because they can't relate to it, and it's kind of might seem boring to them, and especially if you're losing money or you're not making money, then it's like, what the hell are you doing it for then? It doesn't make any sense. You're looking at charts. Just for anyone interested, the book I was reading was Mindset Secrets for Winning by Mark Minervini. He's a stock trader. That's the cover of it there. So what about like winning percentage? So if you had to look at like last month's worth of trades, how many are you winning?
So I use TradesViz. I have a discount code for 15% off, but my winning percentage for this year is 84%. And so like I've actually only had 8 losing days, but the problem is like on every one of those days I actually lost accounts. So my winning percentage is very high, and like I really had to look at that. And here in the past 3 months, I've kind of changed that, where I was kind of like just too much hopium, like just hoping every time like it's going to come back or averaging down. And now, like,
can I just ask, when you say lost accounts, you mean lost prop firm accounts versus
funded accounts?
Yeah, okay, funded accounts.
I hit the trailing drawdown. I lost accounts. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I've been funded. Okay. Like if I add it all up, like I've been funded for close to $3 million altogether with Take Profit, Lilu, Tick Trader, Apex, and I've lost, even with Apex currently, I'm on my funded accounts. I think it's numbers 27 through 34. So I lost so many accounts, but for me, I kind of look at it as all education, and that's tuition that I have paid.
Yeah.
And yeah, so, and one other thing my mentor says is when you're losing, everyone loses in the beginning, and it's okay to lose, because once you learn and you can scale, it's possible that one day in the future, you can have one trade that will make up all of your losses from your early years.
And what about like risk to reward ratio? So like when you're winning, is it more than what you lose?
So I don't use like that tool like to get like, oh, let me lock in a 3-to-1. Like I base my take profits on structure. Like as I was saying, like so I'm waiting for a trend and then I'm looking to take profit at an equal high. And at not the wick, but actually at the candle close of an equal high. So a lot of times it's fairly good risk to reward, at least 2-to-1, 3-to-1, sometimes 4-to-1, because you can depending on how close I enter to the 20, I can have it my stop like so tight. And yeah, it's just me like really shifting my mindset and not being afraid of a loss. So many people are loss averse and they're looking at every trade as if though it's do or die. But if we go back to the casino analogy, like the casino does not care if the roulette ball lands on red or black. And in the same way, whenever you enter a position, if you're using your edge, you should not really be too attached to a win or a loss. So that's what I've been doing now. And also that combined with less trades, and taking less trades inherently makes you more picky about the trades you're taking. So I'm looking for more confluence. So I lose very rarely. But when I do lose, I try to make sure that it's tight.
And what about like trades per week, per day? How many are you looking to take?
Yeah, the most is going to be 4 per day, but a lot of days I will stop at 1 trade. And I have, if maybe later on we'll look at my calendar. It shows my number of trades, and I have maybe over half the days in the past 3 months is 1 trade per day.
Okay. And so what the 4 trade day, what would that entail? Why would you do a 4 trade day?
Maybe if it's a trending day, if the daily chart is showing me, like if we're coming out of consolidation and we're if I have an idea, like if there's a pattern on the daily chart, like a cup and handle or something, like if we're running to the 20-day SMA on the daily chart, sometimes I'll be more confident in taking more retracements because I feel like there's follow through. Another thing, like if we're going for a gap fill, like that happens a lot. And for me, like if we have a big move right out of the open, like big green candles, strong green candles with no wicks out of the open, and then we consolidate in the top 30% of that move, for me, that's like a big sign that we have more upside. So I will take a few of the pushes off the retracements off of that. But again, like if I can make 300 off of one of my accounts that's multiplied, even on those days, I'll stop.
So what about your typical trading day? What does that look like? How does that set up for you and finish?
Yeah, for sure. Because I'm in Hawaii, it's probably different than most people. I'm kind of waking up in the middle of the night. My alarm is 3 a.m. my first one. I'll get up and I'll open up the charts. And what I like to do is I draw previous day high, previous day low, previous day close. And then once the market opens for me it's 3:30, Hawaiian time is 9:30 Eastern, I'll draw the opening price as well. And then another thing I like to do is only look for longs above opening price and only shorts below opening price. And then also look for reactions off of those levels that I had mentioned. So either a run to the previous day close for a gap fill, or a break above and retest of the opening high of the previous day high, or a break below and retest of previous day low. And I found that those key levels are like very reliable for follow through if we get a break and retest. And then a peak above and fail, peak below and fail are also reliable. You'll get a head and shoulders pattern. And to me, it's just gathering liquidity. And then you can almost look very high percentage, 80% of the time, we're going to run for the opposing liquidity, the local on the 5-minute time frame. So
okay, and just so you know, so everyone knows, so you only trade the S&P 500 via E-mini or micros.
So I use either ES or MES. Mostly, I've been doing MES now because that allows for lower risk. It's $5 per contract per point. So my starting size initial position will be 5 micros. But because I'm copying over 8 accounts currently, it's actually 40 micros, which is instead of $5 per point, now we're looking at $200 per point.
Okay. And so if you're going to, like, with your journey here being, really under 2 years and you're consistently making withdrawals from these firms, you don't have many losing days now. So like, what would you recommend a retail trader spend the next month mastering if they were to try and get to the position where you are now as quickly as they could?
Yeah, so for me, like a big thing is the psychology and discipline. So I discipline outside of the charts. Like I think to be a successful trader, like you really have to master yourself. And ultimately, we're trying to be a better trader every day. So you really have to see like what is it that's causing me to lose? Try to analyze, journal your trades, look at it, see what happened, what is causing you. Was there patterns in your losing? My journaling software auto imports my trades and it'll actually break down and show like these are the times of the day where you lose money, these are the times of the day where you make money, these are the trades, this is the position size where you make money, this is the position size where you lose money. And I think if you can look at where you're making mistakes and try to tackle those one by one, like maybe set a goal for yourself every week. I would also say keep your position size small. Think of yourself as a business or a casino. Don't gamble. Don't over leverage. If you have if you're I would recommend using prop firms as well because then the losing is cheaper. I think if we compare it to a baby learning to walk, like a baby has to fall so many times, and I've seen that with my own children learning to walk. Once they master every possible way of falling, then they can start walking and then start running. And in the same way, you can become consistently profitable. But first, you do have to fail. And if you fail through prop firm evaluations, it's much cheaper than the way I did it, losing your own capital. So I would say, utilize prop firms, which are available now. Who knows? Maybe with the regulation coming down, maybe things are going to change in the future. Definitely look at yourself, try to journal your trades, identify mistakes that you're making, and then try to tackle those one at a time. Maybe make a goal for yourself.
Folks, if you're looking for an automated trade journal or trade copier, then check out my sponsor, Swift Journal. They connect to your MetaTrader 4 or 5 broker or prop firm and give you amazing insights into your trading. To get 20% off, click the link in the description and use coupon code TRADINGNUT.
And then I think also, like for me, one of the benefits of my Discord is the accountability. I share my trades in there every day. So really find a community. Doesn't necessarily have to be the same one that I'm using, or even if you have one accountability partner that you say, these are my rules, and then have that person. It can be someone in your personal life who's not even involved with trading. And then at the end of the week, they come to you and say, did you follow your rules? What did you do this week? And then you have to show them your journal. And then maybe if you have that in the back of your mind as you're sitting in front of the computer, you'll be less likely to go on tilt and break your rules because you know that you have someone that you have to be accountable to. And I'm actually going to start seeing a psychologist as well. Someone who's not even involved in trading. There's a woman here in town who I've talked to about it. Just, I think to have a third party to talk to about the things that are going on in your mind, because there's so much subconscious involved. Some of us have some element of fear of success, or just as humans, inherently, there's inertia to change. And so changes can be good or bad. So even like now that you're making more money, that's change. And there's some part of you, the homeostasis, that's me as a biology teacher coming out now, that we want to, any system has a desire to remain balanced.
Yeah. So
now all of a sudden, if you're making $70,000 a year and now you're on track to make $1 million, there's going to be some discomfort associated with that. So I think like speaking with a third party or a professional can be helpful, no matter if you have mental instability, psychological issues, depression. A lot of people are dealing with that. Even if you think you're totally fine, I think it's good for everyone to talk to somebody, someone not a third party, not involved in your personal life, about the things that are going on with you in your mind.
Now, you mentioned there journaling. I mean, how critical is that to your success?
Oh, it's very important. So one form of journaling I have is sharing my trades in the Discord. I share my charts, and the community that I'm in is very supportive. And I think it's very important to be around a community of like-minded individuals. There's a saying that says, show me your 5 friends and I'll show you your future. So I think the people that you spend time with and interacting with has a big influence on what's going to happen for you in your life. So I share my trades there. I also will tag my trades on my journaling software that I have, and then it will show me patterns in the specific trades that I'm taking. Like high of day failure, low of day failure, trend continuation, buying continuation, selling continuation. And then when there's selling continuation, you get the feedback is more aggressive because it's, stairway up, elevator down. So I am partial. I'm a little biased to going short than going long, but yeah,
And
just
do you, what about back testing? Did you back test a lot of this before you dove in, or did you?
yes, I do. I do back test. I use the playback feature on NinjaTrader. Hold on, I think we're getting a little bit of feedback. I'm just gonna turn this thing on. So yeah, I do back test. I looked at the strategies with the particular algo identification strategy that my mentor uses. I did back test that and go back and actually try to replay the data and draw the algos myself and then compare to what he had drawn. So I think, yeah, definitely back testing will help to develop confidence. Ultimately, though, like nothing will teach you the same way that trading on a live chart with real money will. Because
Awesome.
the emotions are different.
Yeah, indeed. Right. Well, look, what we're going to do is start wrapping this baby up here. We're going to go through a couple of quick fire questions. So, how long did it take you to go from newbie to consistently profitable?
I would say about 13 months.
Do you have a recommended trading book or resource?
I really like, so my Discord, I'm partial to that. If you on YouTube, it's Spy Day Trading. There's a guy who talks about psychology and our subconscious, our caveman brain. I think it's Dr. Rand Howell. He has several videos on psychology, which I think is like I think people should focus on that more. But if you actually look on YouTube, the videos about trading psychology have way less views than the videos on trading strategy.
Oh yeah,
because people think that there's a magic pill, but I think the psychology ones are actually more important, but no one is interested in that. So that guy Rand Howell, his YouTube channel, books. There's a guy, The Best Loser Wins by Tom Hogarth. I think his YouTube channel is Trader Tom.
Yeah, he's been on the show.
He is super successful, but I think he states his win percentage is like 30% because he cuts his losers so quickly, but he gives himself a chance. And when it's working, he adds. And I've gotten into that a little bit too. Sometimes I'll like this is working, my idea is working. And so if you have that initial starting position, which is smaller than your intended final position, then it actually helps you with your risk to reward. So yeah, so when the trade's working, you can add to it. When it's losing, you cut it quickly. The same way as an employer might, if you have somebody who's working for you and they're not doing what they should be doing, you fire them right away. Someone's doing well, promote them. And in that same way, your trades are your employees. So you reward good behavior.
Yeah, I like that analogy. That's cool. Now, last question before we wrap the show up. So if you could leave our listeners with one piece of advice, what would it be?
I would say believe, because if you share this, what you're trying to do, no one is going to believe it's possible. People are going to comment on this video about how some of the stuff I'm saying is bullshit. My mentor never has a losing day, and people are going to say that's bullshit. But you have to believe for yourself. And we, as humans, we are creators. We're made in the likeness and image of God. And that means we have the potential to create or connect to any potential reality that we want to. And if you can believe strongly enough and connect emotionally with the future reality that you want for yourself, anything is possible. And I do so much stuff like positive affirmations, speaking to myself, manifestations, emotional freedom technique, tapping. I've accessed every resource that I've come across in my 43 years of life to help me to achieve this, because it's such a miracle. It's such an opportunity to access the financial markets and to siphon off a small bit for yourself to really change your life and buy your time back. And it's possible for anyone, but you really have to believe that it's possible with every bit of yourself. And yeah, that's what I'd say. You have to believe. There's one story I have. There was my ex-wife had this friend who studied finance at Stanford, and she was telling him what I was trying to do. And he said, that's not possible. The best way to make money is to buy shares of indexes and wait. And no retail individual trader can beat the returns of the S&P 500 over time, 7% average. And I'm like, good. Don't believe. I want people not to believe, because the thing that I'm trying to do is unbelievable. The thing that any of us traders, to be consistently profitable, for the majority of people, it's an unbelievable thing that you're going to sit in front of your computer for an hour in the morning and make this kind of money. It's not believable. So Like the more people that don't believe, the easier it is for those of us who do.
Awesome. Brilliant. Great way to end the show. Now, before we wrap up, do you want to remind everyone about the charitable donation option and the giveaway, and then we'll wrap this thing up?
Yeah, again, so this is a raffle for this Gyotaku of this uku or gray snapper. I think in your part of the world, they call it a green jobfish. I don't know if you're familiar with that. In Australia,
no,
anyway,
I've never heard it. Well, no, we're in New Zealand
it's
here.
called a green jobfish in Australia. And you're in New Zealand, right?
Yeah, I don't know
right?
what we call it in New Zealand. Wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah, I've seen it on YouTube spearfishing channels, but it's very rare.
It's probably a kawai or something like that, maybe.
Yeah, so this is a Gyotaku, which they actually the process is you do an imprint of the actual fish, and then an artist will go in and detail it. So I'm giving that away, and there'll be one entry for every $20 donated to this Lahaina Ohana Venmo Fund, which goes directly to families affected by the wildfires on Maui. There's thousands of families on this Instagram page, and you can go through and read each individual family's story and their plight, what they've gone through, their loved ones that they've lost. I've donated, and then it's also several people affiliated in the trading world that I know. Some of them wish to remain anonymous have donated as well. I appreciate you contributing. So you go on there, you can donate and send me a screenshot to my Instagram. You can tag me or send it, direct message me at TCOBiz on Instagram. There'll be a link in the description for an entry. And then 2 weeks from today, I'll do a video and I'll do a random name generator and I'll send it out to you, shipping and handling included. And if you wish to donate anonymously, I think that, God bless you. If you want to win the prize, God bless you as well. Anything helps. I'm just trying to leverage rather than me just donating, using this platform and to access people who are not connected to this community to lend some relief to those who have been affected.
Awesome. Well, look, we'll do a shout out to the winner. Maybe we'll need a cutoff date for this. So let's say it'll probably be a week after the show goes live. So we'll do a shout out to the winner as well. I just had a look. I can't see anything about. I think we do call it green jobfish, but I've never heard about that in my life. So
it's delicious.
It's like
it's a fish you rarely see it, and oftentimes you have to go like 80 feet deep to get it. So I've actually only seen like 5 of them. This one I got this summer because I was on summer vacation and I was going out like right when the sun was coming up, where I would take a day off from trading. So I love this thing. So but you know what? Because it has personal value to me, that makes it a better gift, in my opinion. So
awesome. Brilliant. Well, look, a big thank you to Fasil for sharing with us today. Everything was discussed here, along with all the links he just mentioned and links to, I'll put your own Discord in there as well, are going to be in the show notes. So to find them, simply search for Fasil. That's Fasil in the search box on tradingnut.com. Until next time, wish all my listeners trading happiness and success.
Aloha.
All right, folks, there you have it. Interview done and dusted with Fasil. Now, what a great guy and what a great concept. The links to that are in the podcast description or in the YouTube description. Go and check that out. And if you want to make a donation, you're going to get a chance to win that awesome painting. Now, folks, other things going on here at Trading Nut. We've got the live streams hitting the channel pretty much every day. So if you want somebody to trade alongside with, if you haven't got anyone there, then jump over there and check those traders out. We've got a lot of them taking on the Blue Guardian Challenge, which we're doing recaps at the end of the week. So you haven't checked that out, go and check that one out as well. And we've got the mystery trader dropping in the Telegram channel soon. It's a little bit delayed, I know that, but it is dropping soon, so don't worry, that is coming. All right, folks, have a great trading week, and we'll see you in the next episode. Tired of missing trades or spending hours at the charts? Introducing my Robot Builders Club. With our platform, you can build bots in minutes, not weeks, without any coding required. Get lifetime access to my video course, VIP community, and over 40 ready-made robots. Works with MT4 or MT5, and as a bonus, you'll get 3 months access to my robot lab, where we build and test bots on live calls every week. Join the hundreds of traders who are trading smarter, not harder. Click the link in the description to learn more, get the free training, and download a free robot.